All right, so we're lucky enough today. Today's Friday. Obviously, we usually do some type of informational, some TED talk and stuff. But actually, there's some things that are closer to home that are just as important. Okay, we're lucky enough to have Liz from Lazarus House and Betsy here, and they're going to talk about what they do in St. Charles. There's things around us that I don't think all of us are aware of, and situations until it personally affects us, like we talked about. So we're lucky enough to have Liz talk a little bit about what they do. Okay, let's give Liz a hand. Thank you for coming.
Good morning, everyone. We are fortunate to have John Michaelek on our board of directors, and he was telling us about this wonderful employer here in Elgin that he would like for us to come and share the message of the work that we do in downtown St. Charles. And so that's why we're here. We didn't buy the donuts, John did, so thank you, John. This is our board president, Betsy Penny, who has been with Lazarus House actually since our first day. So what Lazarus House is a homeless shelter, transitional living program, and a series of outreach programs in St. Charles. We, right now, our mission, as you can see, just go ahead and play the slide show. I don't need to read it. Yeah, just go ahead. I'll let you read that, and I'll just kind of tell you a little bit about what we have going on. We've been having about 53 people per night that are sleeping in our shelter. The biggest misconception is that in an area like St. Charles, Illinois, there can't possibly be people that are struggling or living on the streets, and there couldn't be anything further from the truth. About 17 years ago, there were people in town that were a little concerned about folks that were sleeping on park benches and behind buildings, and the city was considering at that time passing an anti-vagrancy law. That did not happen, but what did happen was a lot of good people came together to not worry about how to run people out of town that were sleeping on park benches, but rather how are we going to come together and serve their needs and get them to a better place where they are contributing members of our communities. So that's what has been happening for the last 17 years. We are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So those folks that find themselves in need of shelter can come to us. They have a home, they have their own bed, they have a safe, secure setting, 3 square meals a day, but most important, they have a community that cares. We are privileged to be able to be staffed with case managers that work with the folks that come through our doors to start working on how are we going to rebuild their lives so the label of homelessness is something that is behind them when they leave our doors and they're able to get back on their feet. We have a 2-year transitional living program for those that choose to stay that long. It allows people more of a private dorm-like setting to sleep in. Again, the case management continues. Through the good work of volunteers, our staff, this work results in people leaving our doors with debt issues taken care of, and they're able to hold their heads high and apply for apartments, have utilities turned on, and be our neighbors and friends that we work alongside of every day. This work can't be done without about 1,900 volunteers that come through our doors every year. It's the good work of the community that allows us to not have to spend all of the budget that we have on staff. Rather, we rely on those volunteers to supplement our staff to do all sorts of good work. Our volunteers do things like help serve meals. They mentor our guests on employment skills. They do office work to assist us. They come and help in just a million and one ways. We have people that will come and tutor our children after school so they can have some help with their homework. We have babysitters at night that allow our parents to participate in classes that other community organizations offer. And it just goes on. And I'm going to have Betsy address because she has been just a super volunteer since day one. She's always been on our board of directors. She instituted our after-school tutoring program for our kids. She instituted a GED program for our folks that maybe didn't have a high school education when they came to us. So I'm going to let Betsy talk a little bit about that.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I had the pleasure at the time when this all started sitting on the city council in St. Charles, and I will never forget our founder walking in and saying, I think it's great you're not going to let people sleep on the benches in the streets, but just where are they going to sleep? And from there, it started. And I would like to say I was amazed, as was she, that our city council jumped on board and supported this concept. We started out staying at different churches at night, and at that time, all we could offer was 7 to 7, and then they had to leave. And since then, due to all the volunteers and all the support of the Tri-City area, we have been able to offer, as Liz said, 365 days a year, 24 hours, there's help. It's been a wonderful experience for me to be involved in this. I was a former teacher, I retired, so that to me was very important, that those who needed some education, I had one man who had never learned to read, so we started working on that, and when he left, he could read much better, believe me, than he did when he walked in. I can't tell you as a volunteer how much, I always feel like I get so much more out of what we do there than I've ever given. Or that I ever, it's just amazing. The people are great. I've had former students show up and greet me and ask for help. I mean, people run into rough times, and we just need to be there to help them, and that's what they do. Our volunteers help prepare all the meals that come in at night. Our community businesses give us lots of food, which is great. Many like Fresh Market or Trader Joe's, all those places bring food to us so that we are never without food. It's wonderful. We could not function without the volunteers and without the community support. It's a real example of what your folks can do in your community and want to do if they just know a place to do it. And it really helps. It's so wonderful to see the growth of some of these people. One of the things that I think has been so special about Lazarus House is we've always said we're not just sheep to eat. We firmly believe we need to help people improve their situation and not just have a place to sleep and eat. They want to have hope. They want their life to be better. And that's one of our real focuses. So we work a lot with different agencies in our communities. We're like a resource to help people be connected with whatever their need might be, as far as maybe it's an addiction issue, or maybe it's a mental health issue, or maybe it's just getting the right medication and that sort of thing. And so that's what we do very well too, is we have a resource for folks. We have some folks who come who don't stay with us overnight, but they come and eat with us because that helps them. That's one less thing they have to pay for. And it's just a wonderful thing, and it's what we should be about on this earth, in my opinion, is be there and help people in need.
You're all going to get a bundle of stuff. It's a brochure about Lazarus House, a long, detailed explanation of the work that we do, the numbers that we affect, and events that we have coming up. And if you would like to become one of our 1,900 volunteers that comes and helps us do this work every day, please know you're welcome. Whatever it is you feel you want to do, or whatever limited amount of time you might have, you are what makes the difference and what makes this miracle happen. And it's nothing short of a miracle that is going on at Lazarus House. So please come be part of us. If you see a way that you would like to join in, there's lots of opportunities. So thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, Jim.
Thank you very much. Thank you.